Welcome back to the channel, folks. It's been a while since we've done one. This is going to be very quick. Tomorrow we'll do the long video, but tonight we're going to be a very quick one just to show you what is coming. We're going to keep this to under 10 minutes. I'm just going to let you know that we just got the submission back. It's still in the box. That submission is the one that holds the highly anticipated results for the coins we cracked out, namely that peace dollar and that AccuGrade slab, as well as all of these INS coins, 82S, photo slab. That was 65 DMPL. We haven't looked at the results. I don't expect any of them to, maybe one might get the dimple. I think a couple will PL. We shall see. This 80S, this 81S, the Colombians, this 79P, which was in a 65 double-sized photo slab, another 25 piece dollar in an INS. We also had a Barber half dollar and a few other things in there. So that is our highly anticipated bag sitting right there that remains sealed and unopened. We had an auction Tuesday night. We've also made a couple of private sales, and it's been a while since we've talked about the bankroll collection, and we're just going to touch on one particular purchase. These $20 bank wrap rolls are ones I've had for a long time. You can see the 64 Kennedy there. There's 6 of those. The 57D roll, a bunch of 63D rolls, a 60D roll. There's 2 48Ds underneath here. There's a mystery S Mint roll, which I've had forever, which is probably a 54S. The seller genuinely didn't know. It's not labeled. Came from a private sale. He didn't even know what he had. So I don't think it was a situation where he knows it's a 54S and he's playing it off that he doesn't know. Oh, that's the wrong roll. This is a 63D. Wait a second. Is this it? Oh, hold on. I thought I had it on top, but I obviously don't. AT roll. This is it. I got it. So let me put these back real quick. All right. So this roll I've had for a long, long time. I've shown it before, so sorry for the duplication. You can see the S Mint mark right there, and it's a tails roll, which in and of itself is a bit suspicious. Federal Reserve, this is not a Federal Reserve, this is American Trust, so it's probably not that suspicious, but the Federal Reserve went out of their way to make sure one side was heads, one side was tails, and a lot of people don't know that. But the FRB rolls, the Federal Reserve Bank rolls, should pretty much all be heads, tails. I'm sure there's a few that slip through the cracks, but they did make it a point so that they could document the inventory. But what beautiful toning on this, and regardless of the year, even though 54S is far and away the most likely, it's rare to find a Franklin half dollar bank wrapped roll, let alone a $20 one. However, with that said, we do have another 54S Franklin half dollar roll that'll be here tomorrow. It actually was here today, but I wasn't home to sign for it. We added these 7 more $20 bank wrap rolls just a few days ago. And these are all 1963D. They all came from the same collection. Another private sale. There's 164, but you can see it's the same wrap. They came from a woman out in Orange County, California. $269, and a couple of these have 1988 on them. This one doesn't, but they're all exactly the same, which is always a good sign, authenticating their, that one's starting to come undone a little bit, but authenticating that they are, there we are, 1963 Ben Franklin, 269, same price tag. We have, one of these has the date of 1988 on it somewhere. Here's this one, $400 for this one. This is the Kennedy roll. And we put elastics just to keep it from falling apart. Beautifully toned, as you can see. Here it is with the date. All right, so we have August 3rd of 88. And again, the AT. And again, $269. And it was a gift for somebody. Dennis Eduardo, maybe. Something along those lines. So we have added 7 more of those to that ever-growing monstrosity of the bank wrapped roll collection. We were at an auction the other night, and in that auction we picked up a lot of interesting coins. Before we get into those, we found some more toned silver dollars, including this 1923 piece dollar, which, you know, you either love the toning or you hate it. When you find piece dollars with toning, especially like this much toning, I love it. It was in a craft envelope for decades. The gentleman who sold this collection started collecting coins as a teenager. He lives in Rhode Island, not too far away. He met me after work a couple nights ago, and he had a bunch of these silver dollars, and they've been up in his attic for a long time, and you can tell even the Morgans have a very similar tone to them. This 1880p, I believe, is wonderful, and it's uncirculated, although you're not going to get the luster because of that heavy, thick toning, but I believe it's a full unk. If not, it's an AU58, but it's very close. It's 81S, same thing. Very heavy toning. We're going to give them a quick acetone bath this weekend. This 1901P is a better date. This one's circulated, obviously. Probably XF or VF35. Another 81, but an 81O with some rim damage. Similar toning. You can tell they all sat in those craft envelopes. 97, circulated. Circulated. There was another one. I don't think I have it here. I think I separated it already. There was a couple of really beautiful examples, but I didn't bring them all down. So we'll have to settle for what I've shown you, but there's a couple other ones that were just phenomenal. And I put them to the side probably to make sure that I didn't forget what they were. In that auction the other night, I guess we'll start with the US and we'll work our way into the Canadian. We're going to be quick, as I promised. There was raw, and then there was certified. That's the auction lot number. This 1844 seated $50. I call it a VG10. We'll probably send this one in. It's pretty much problem-free, attractive, wholesome, original, not super expensive, but pretty doggone nice. There were quite a few cap bust $50. I don't have the Overton variety listed in front of me, although it was listed on the auction docket. This 1830 is probably pushing XF, but it's very, very attractive. There's not a hairline on it. There's no indication of PVC or any other scratches or any other type of damage. It's got a nice original toning. You know, I think it's probably an XF40. We'll see. I'm not a cap bust expert. There's 2 more. I think I left one upstairs. We have this one, which is actually a grade higher in my opinion, or maybe even 2 grades higher. This is pushing AU, this 1824. That little spot is on the plastic. Decent luster. I would take it out of the plastic, but we're in the essence of time and the amount of stuff we want to quickly run through. We will move on to the next, but those are probably destined for PCGS. We did, and I didn't bring them all, I don't think. I think I left most of them upstairs, actually, but we did get some, this 1853 with arrows seeded $1/2, XF45 old annex slab with wonderful toning. Just a nice coin. I love the toning. Again, we're not going to capture the color in this setup, but it's got that annex toning, even though this is a soapbox and not an A&A holder. This is one of the early A&A holders. You got the green letters and the, you know, it's a couple generation, 1 or 2 generations in. You've got the annex symbol, not the genie lamp. This one is a A&A first generation, 1840. WB2, Breen 2, which is the micro O mint mark, which is supposedly an R4. And I think this is an AU50 with today's grading. It's really, I mean, it's pretty spectacular. It's just pretty doggone nice, in my opinion. A beauty. We got another A&A Morgan, MS6390S, better date. My favorite holders. We have another soapbox, wonderful 36S Columbia. Just lovely. We have an NGC Fatty, this 79S Morgan, with sunset, fiery auburn, and gold toning, which I actually just put on eBay earlier, as well as on Instagram. So if you're interested, you can find it at either of those locations, and if it's not sold in the next day or two, you'll find it on samscoinsandheavymetal.com. We have what was a PCI, green PCI, which is now a Hallmark. It was the transition Hallmark, bought them out. This came for pretty much next to nothing. I think this coin went for 45 bucks, so it's pretty hard to pass up. Nothing super special, but the price was right. We have a couple rattlers, a couple somewhat better dates. This 81P, nice wholesome white coin, and an 82O, 63. Those two came together as one lot. That's pretty cool. We got a lot of old green holders, including this 87S and 62. Properly graded, in my opinion. Followed by another better date, a 91P, which is always a tough date to find. One of those elusive tough dates that seems to be underrated, if you will. We picked up 3 CAC AU58 Plus Buffalo Nickels, and we also picked up WMP Rare Coins, 6565, which was very cool. That went for next to nothing. 38D MS66 Buffalo. Lovely superb gem, or whatever. A coin I put on Instagram because I know that there's quite a few brown MS66 Lincoln Cent enthusiasts, was this wonderful creamy brown rainbow toned 40D penny, which, you know, these coins aren't expensive, but they are beautiful. The toning on this coin was just really, really nice. Wish I could get better lighting. That's a little better. It's pretty stellar in hand. So let's see. All right, we're not going to spend a lot more time on that stuff. We picked up a lot of Canadian stuff. It's about a $3 coin. We got a bunch of early Canadian 5-cent pieces in AU 53 through 58. These are very inexpensive coins, but very cool, and they are silver nickels in Canada, not in the US. The nickels changed over around 1920 and they became this variety, where they were copper nickel, very similar to the United States. These are just a few bucks each. We have a bunch of those, 1949 through 1955, but the interesting thing is the envelopes that they came in before they were graded were part of the auction deal. So these craft envelopes, along with this bag of nickels and craft envelopes, was all part of the auction. 44, so any of these could be sent in if you want to spend $30 to get a $10 coin graded. But these are all mint state nickels from, I assume, original rolls, not original mint sets or PL sets. Although, speaking of original mint sets and PL sets, you don't see them very often in Canada. They are hard to find, but we do have a couple to show you really quick. So we'll start with the new $1967, which is far and away the most common one. You can see the staples are facing towards us, so I don't know if that's because they consider this the obverse or it is the obverse. Dates on this side, so it's probably the obverse. And we had 3 of those. Actually, 2 of those. And a flat pack one. This one's got a lot heavier toning on most of the coins. And then we have this 1960 in a capital holder. $1960 PL set. And we have the heavier hitters. In the original government packaging, this 1954 PL set. Beautiful looking penny there, cent. The dime has wonderful toning. And the quarter has some really beautiful toning. And we have the 1955, oops, 56. There was a 55 set. The toning on this dime, I think it's this one. It's hard to see under all the tape, but it's pretty amazing. Maybe it's the 55 set that has, yeah, the 55 set has the really insane toning. And $50 is spectacular. Cool stuff, cool stuff. And then we'll finish it off with these. Let's see, is this what I wanted to show you? There's a couple of old dimes, 1894, better date. Those are Newfoundland dimes. These nickels are much better dates. Nickels, 5-cent pieces is the better word. it's 1870 and 1874. This one was holed and plugged, as you can see, which is unfortunate, but it's still extremely scarce. There's the hole up there. 74 is the rarer of the two. 76, I'm sorry. And this one's pretty much problem-free. Probably a fine, based on the way I see how they've graded these. So we might submit that. And then we do have one more to show you before we wrap up this video at the 20-minute mark. I said 10. This quarter from 1870 has another much better date with some really remarkable, thick, heavy original toning. I was trying to capture the angle here. Tough time getting color with all the different white and yellow lights going on in the background. And suffice it to say that if I had a better setup, you would see the colors, but it's a nice original coin with, in a very fine range. You can probably get an idea of the color if you use your imagination. But that's probably destined for PCGS one day down the road. And that's a teaser sample. The next video will be the unboxing. We're going to leave it in the box and unbox it tomorrow. So thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have anything to share, any questions, feel free to leave them. Otherwise, we will catch you in the next video. Have a good weekend, guys. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.